who arrive at a supermarket by time t starting from time 0. For such a process, we usually assume n0 is 0, that is at time 0. From where we start, like if I start from counting from now on, so I will say this time at 0, and then like after 30 minutes, t is 30. So as the time passes, the customer arrives and nt takes a positive integer value. So how we define this one? A random process xt, where time t belongs to 0 to infinity. So when we have a specific name like counting process, we are usually denoted by it nt. It's said to be counting process. If nt is the number of events occurred from time 0 up to and including time t. So like a number of accident from time 0 to next 5 minutes, like this. So events, it's like that. Number of customer are coming, number of accidents are happening, this kind of things. So if nt denoting the number of events occurred from time 0, that is the starting time, up to and including the time t. So these are the first, like initially we assume that there is no such event occurred at time t equal to 0. And then we assume that this nt will have either 0 customer from within next 30 minutes, or maybe 1 customer come in next 30 minutes. Maybe 2, maybe infinite customer can come within the next 30 minutes. So nt can be any thing from the whole number, set of whole number like 0, 1, 2, dot up to infinity. For all t belongs to 0 to infinity. And for any s which is less than t and greater than equal to 0, nt minus ns shows the number of events that occur in the interval sn s to t. Like you have s1 and t is 4. So n4 minus ns is showing the number of events occurred from 1 to 4. Since counting process has been used to model arrivals such as supermarkets example, we usually refer the occurrence of each event as an arrival. So whenever we have the arrival word, we are assuming that it's a like occurring of certain event. For example, if nt is the number of accidents in a city up to time t, we still refer each accident as an arrival. Okay. Next, we define some property for random processes. So when we say a random process xt is having independent increments, if you take any times like this, t1 greater strictly greater than less than t2, t2 strictly less than t3, like this, then we know that xt is a random process, and for each fixed t, xt is a random variable. So xt2 is a random variable, xt1 is a random variable, and their difference is also a random variable. If this difference, and this, if these new differences are independent random variable, then we say that the random process xt is having independent increment. So like you take any n number of time instance, and then you obtain this xt2 minus xt1 one random variable, xt3 minus xt2 another, and if this set of random variable, each of them are mutually independent, you can say like xt2 minus xt1 is independent with xt3 minus xt2, like this, then we say that the random process xt is having independent increment. So for counting process, we have actually discussed this thing like in today itself. Like the second condition for counting, third condition for counting process is that if you have two time instants t and s, then nt minus ns is showing the number of events occurred within the interval s to t. That is the length of the interval is t minus s, you can say. And or this nt is representing the number of events occur from time 0 to t. The second condition is saying that the number of events occurring from time 0 to including time t, and it may be anything. So here we are having two time instants, nti and nti minus 1. So the number of events is actually equal to the number of arrivals occur within the interval ti minus 1. So like the difference of these. Thus a counting process has independent increment. So if the number of arrivals in non-overlapping intervals are independent. So, like if we are having a process in which the number of arrivals in non-overlapping intervals are independent, then such process is known as counting process. Or if it is a counting process, then in non-overlapping intervals, the number of arrivals are independent. It means that if some like 10 customer coming in this interval is independent of that 12 customer coming in this interval, if these interval are disjoint. Disjoint means there nothing is common, like T2 minus T1 and T2 interval is disjoint with T2 comma T3. In particular, you can see here like two arrivals in the interval 1 2 and three arrivals in the interval 3 5. So its interval is having 1 to 2 and it is having 3 to 5. So it means they are non-overlapping interval 1 2 and 3 5. And this is the event 2 arrival in this interval and 3 arrival in this interval, and this is end. And we say that it's a counting process, so it means this is independent. That is, we can calculate the probability 2 arrival in this interval and 3 arrival in this interval, and then we multiply, and then we'll get the probability of A intersection B equals to probability of A into probability of B. But this is true if the intervals are non-overlapping. Like if one is 1 2 and another one is 1 5, then this is not true. So you have to take care of this, that interval should be non-overlapping. Then we have stationary increments. So like you have one random process xt, and we say that this xt is having stationary increments. If you take two time instance t1, t2, and if any real number r greater than 0, then the two random variable xt2 minus xt1, one random variable, and another one is xt2 plus r minus xt1 plus r, have the same distribution. So if this and this have the same distribution means you can say their probability density function, this probability density function and this probability function is same, or if we are talking about in terms of discrete, the probability mass function of this is equals to the probability mass function of this random variable, that difference random variable. Okay. In other words, the distribution of the difference depend only the length of the interval and do not on the exact location of the interval on the real line. So we again switch over to this counting process. We know that NT is representing the number of customer coming from time 0 to time t, and T2 minus and T1 is representing the number of customer arriving in the interval T2 minus T1, or you say T1 to T2. So therefore counting process has a stationary increment if for all you take like this, then this and this, because it is again the equal to T2 minus T1, because this in counting process, if the number of this is the third condition of counting process, the number of arrival in the difference NT2 minus NT1 is equal to the number of arrival in the interval T2 minus T1 or T1 to T2. So this is one random variable like T2 minus and T1 like this, and if you take like this for any r greater than 0, like n T2 plus r and T1 plus r, but you know that this is a difference, and the being difference, this the number of arrival in this is actually T2 plus R minus T1 plus R, then R will cancel out and again you will have this. So it means your counting process is again also having a stationary increment. So the counting process has independent increment. That is, if you have a non-overlapping interval, then the number of arrivals are independent. And the counting process has stationary increments. If for all T1, T2 belongs to greater than 0 you have, then NT2 minus NT1 has the same distribution as this one. Then we come to this Poisson process. So for Poisson distribution, you know that it's a discrete kind of distribution. So now we talk about the Poisson process. So the definition of Poisson process is this one. Like first we choose some lambda, lambda is greater than 0, we fixed, and the counting process. So, and if we are saying the counting process, it means it is having all the properties, three property of the definition of counting process, and the stationary increment and the independent increment. So you have counting process, this one, and any counting process is called Poisson process with rate lambda if the following three conditions hold. So we say any counting process is a Poisson process if these three conditions is true. First, N0 is 0. Second, NT has independent increment. And the third one is the number of arrival in any length and in any interval of length tau has the distribution tau, Poisson, tau lambda. So here, if you remember the earlier classes, we have defined the Poisson lambda, and Poisson lambda, if you have a random variable capital X and it follows Poisson lambda, you know that its probability mass function is e raised to power minus lambda, lambda raised to power x upon x factorial, where x goes to 0, 1, 2, up to infinity. So in Poisson process, N0 is 0, Nt has independent increment, and if you have any interval of length tau, then the number of arrival follows the Poisson lambda tau distribution. So here, this is the probability mass function of the Poisson distribution. Here, instead of taking lambda as a variable, we are having mu as a variable. Like here, this x is following Poisson mu distribution. So it's a Poisson mu. So if mu, then we have replaced like this. So why we have written here mu? Because here lambda is already in the definition of Poisson process, and we have, because we have to find the number of arrival, and it means it's generating some random variable. So the random variable follows this distribution lambda tau, and we say that this lambda tau is actually mu. So here are some facts. If x is a Poisson process with parameter mu, then expectation of x is mu and variance of x is mu. So that result we have already proved in earlier classes. There we have Poisson lambda. And if x is Poisson lambda, then its mean is lambda and variance is also lambda. But here we have changed the parameter lambda by naming mu. Now the second result is, if you have a xi, a random variable which is following Poisson distribution with parameter mu I, and each of them are mutually exclusive, like xi's are independent. So we have proved this result for two variable. Like if we have a x is a random variable having Poisson mu, and another y is another random variable having Poisson k, and then we have proved this result in earlier classes for two random variable. But that can be generalized, like if it is true for two random variable, then what we assume that in the same result we repeat, like these two treated as one variable and the third one as a second variable, and repeat the proof of that, and then you will get this. So if you are having xi's are independent random variable, then and xi follows the Poisson mu I distribution, then their sum follows Poisson with the parameter mu1 plus mu2 plus mu n. So these kind of results we remember. Then we have one problem. The number of customers arriving at a grocery store can be modeled by the Poisson process with intensity lambda equals to 10, that is the rate it is given per hour. So this is the estimation that 10 customer per hour may come. Find the probability that there are two customers between time 10 to 10:20, and then find the probability that there are three customers between 10:10 and seven customers 10:20 to 11. So here the rate of the Poisson process is already given, it is lambda. The interval is also given 10 to 10:20, and then we have to consider the difference, because we know that the number of customers arriving in this interval is having distribution that is proportional to the time difference. So what is tau here? The time difference is 20 minutes. So 20 minutes is the time difference, that is our tau. When 20 minutes is converted into hour by dividing by 60, we are having this. So this is the length of the interval. So, thus, if x is the number of arrival in that interval, we can write x follows lambda tau distribution. X follows lambda tau distribution. Here lambda is 10 and tau is 1 by 3. So this is actually your mu. This 10 by 3 is actually your mu. So x is following this distribution, Poisson mu, and mu is lambda tau. Lambda is the parameter for the Poisson process, and tau is the length of the interval in which we are having discussion of number of arrivals. Okay. So and then if x is follows Poisson mu distribution, then it's we write it's okay, we can write the number of like it's we like this. We write like this. It's a probability mass function like this. So this is the probability mass function for Poisson distribution pxk e raised to power minus mu mu raised to power k upon k factorial if x follows Poisson mu. So here in this problem, our mu is 10 upon 3. So we can write like probability that x equals to 2. So mu is 10 by 3 and x equals to 2. So we replace in the formula. This k is replaced by 2 here and mu is replaced by 10 by 3, and you will get the probability of arriving two customer within the time interval 10 to 10:20. So this is the probability. Now we move to this second. So here we have two non-overlapping interval. One interval is 10 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. and another one is 10:20 to 11 a.m. So it means they are non-overlapping, and in the question they have the word this and word is there. So the number of three arrivals in this interval and seven arrivals in this interval. But since this interval is not overlapping with this interval, so we can because it's a Poisson process, so it has independent increment. So the number of arrival are in this interval is independent of the number of arrival in this interval. It means this and probability of A intersection B equals to probability of A into probability of B. So you do like this. So one interval is I1, another one is I2. We calculate their length of the interval. That is, for I1 we assume tau1 is the length of the interval. So we in part 1 we have already calculated the length of the interval I1 is 20 minutes, and 20 minutes in hour is 1 by 3. Similarly, the length of the I2 interval is 40 minutes, and 40 minutes in terms of the hour is tau2. So we have the length of the interval also. We have the lambda parameter is also provided to us. So the number of customer coming in this interval is following the Poisson tau1 distribution. This is the tau1, sorry, mu1 distribution, and the number of customer coming in the I2 interval follows the Poisson mu2 distribution. So if the interval is changed, the Poisson mu1 and mu2 is also changed. So, and now we use first the property of the Poisson process, that if we are having non-overlapping intervals, and since I1 and I2 are non-overlapping intervals, so 3 arrival in this and 7 arrival in this is equal to the product of this, because they are having independent increment. So 3 arrivals in this one and 7 arrival in this one. So X is following in this interval following Poisson mu1 distribution. In this interval, it's following Poisson mu2 distribution. So we use for this interval Poisson mu1. It means e raised to power minus mu1 10 upon 3 mu1 raised to power x. Here x is, or k you can say, 3. So 10 by 3 raised to power 3 and upon 3 factorial. Now for this one is having different distribution, Poisson mu2, and mu2 is 20 by 3, so e raised to power minus 20 by 3, 20 by 3 raised to power 7, because here k, because we are calculating the probability of 7 arrivals in the interval I2 divided by 7 factorial, and after multiplication you will get the probability that 3 arrivals in the I1 interval and 7 arrivals in the I2 interval. Then again we have one problem, that ST is MT is a Poisson process and the rate of the is a 0.5. Find the probability that no arrival in the interval 3 to 5, and find the probability that there is exactly one arrival in each of the following interval. So here you can see, if we assume y is the number of arrival, that is y is the random variable representing the number of arrival in the interval 3 to 5. So first I have to find what distribution this y follows. So first I have to calculate the length of the interval. So here length of the interval tau is, if I minus is 5 minus 3 is 2. And then this length of the interval I have to multiply with this lambda. Lambda is 0.5 and tau is 2, and then I will get my mu. Mu is 1. So the probability of, because now y is following the Poisson 1 distribution, if you know the formula is, this one is e raised to power minus mu raised to power x divided by x factorial, and here x is 0. So mu raised to power 0 and x 0 factorial will give you 1, and e raised to power minus 1 will give you this. So this way you calculate the probability of no arrival, that is 0. We have to substitute in this distribution. Now we assume we are having 4 intervals, so we assume differently, like y1 representing the number of arrivals in 0, 1, y2 representing the number of arrival in 1, 2, y3 in 2, 3, and y4 in 3, 4. But one thing we have noticed here, the intervals are non-overlapping. So it means the number of arrival in all these intervals is independent. And you know that this comma representing the AND. So number of, and why this 1 is here? Because it says that there is exactly one arrival. So 1, that is If y1 is representing the number of arrival in the interval 0 1, so y1 should be 1, and y2 is also 1, y3 is also 1, and y4 also. So there are four random variable and there is their intersection. Since this process is Poisson having independent increment, and since the open intervals are non-overlapping, so it is the product of these four. Now each four of them follows this Poisson 0.5. Why? Because the lambda is 0.5, and we can see that length of this interval is 1, because 1 minus 0 is 1. Length of this interval is also 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 2 is also 1, and 4 minus 3 is also 1. So it means 1 into 0.5. So 1 into 0.5 means Poisson 0.5. So these yi's follows the Poisson 0.5 distribution. So y1 follows same, y2 follows same. So it's like a 4 time products of this, so raised to power 4. So e raised to power minus mu, mu is here 0.5, and then mu raised to power 1, because this y is 1 every time, upon 1 factorial, and you will get this as a result. Again we have one problem. Here we have again a Poisson process with rate lambda. Find the probability that there are 2 arrivals in 0, 2 and 3 arrivals in 1, 4. So now you can see in this problem, the intervals are not non-overlapping, they are overlapping actually. 0, 2 and 1, 4 containing a common interval 1 to 2. So it means we are not able to use our property that the probability of these two events is actually product of these two events is not possible here. So what we will do here, so note that the two intervals this and this are not disjoint. It means they have something common, like 1 to 2 is common. Thus we cannot multiply the probability for each interval to obtain the desired probability. So in particular, we have find this is the common interval 1 to 2. So what we do, we divide or define three random variable capital X, capital Y, and capital Z, such that capital X representing the number of arrivals in 0, 1, capital Y representing the number of arrivals in G1, 2, and capital Z is representing the number of arrivals in 2, 2. And now these intervals are non-overlapping. You can see that these three intervals are non-overlapping. So the number of arrival x, y, z are independent. Thus x, y, z are independent random variables. So now I have to first find the length of this interval. Length of this interval is 1. So tau is 1 and the rate is lambda given. So I have written as it is lambda into 1. Then the length of this interval is again 1, 2 minus 1, so 1 into lambda for y also, but for z the length of interval is 2, and so 2 into lambda. So this is the distribution, all of them follow. X, Y, Z are independent and they follow the Poisson lambda 1, lambda into 2, this kind of distribution. Now we define, let A be the event that there are 2 arrivals in 0, 2 and 3 arrivals in 1, 4. So we can use the law of total probability to obtain the probability of A. The probability of A is like that, x plus y is 2, because that is we want 0 to 2 it should be 2, and y plus z it means 1 to 2 it should be 3. So 3 arrival in 1 to 4 and 2 arrival in 0 to 2. So we write like this, 2 arrival in 0 to 2 and 3 arrival in 1 to 4. Then We can write like this by using conditional probability, that this and this event given y equal to k and then probability of y equal to k. We can write like that. Then here we can see that y can take maximum value up to 2, because here x plus y is 2, no? So it cannot take more than 2 value. So we will see. So this summation actually goes from k equals to 0 to k equals to 2. So now probability that x plus y equals to 2 and y plus z equals to 3, given that y equals to k, because y is the number of arrivals, that is a positive number, positive integers you can say, and then it means x plus y, we have to maintain x plus y equal to 2, it means y cannot take more than 2. Right. So y is taking, we write first x goes to 2, because when this k is 0, when this k is 0, it means x equals to 2, because y is 0 and here y is also 0, so z equal to 3 and y equal to 0, because this, so this is for this is for k equals to 0. Then for k equals to 1. If k equal to 1, then since x plus 1 equals to 2, so x equals to 1, z equal to 1, given y equal to 1, probability that y equal to 1. And similarly, y equal to 2, we can write like this. And then, after this, here we have written like this. Why? Because we know that this x, y, z are having are the number of arrival in non-overlapping intervals. So the probability of this given y equal to 0 is actually the probability of this, because y equal to 0 will happen or will not happen does not affect this probability, as x, y, z are independent. So the probability of x equal to 2, comma z equal to 3 given y equal to 0 is actually equal to the probability that x equal to 2 and z equal to 3. And this part as it is here. Similarly here also, because x, y, z are independent, so whether y equal to 1 happen or not happen, the probability of x equal to 1 or z equal to 2 given y equal to 1 is actually probability that x equal to 1, z equal to 2, and then this part as it is. Similarly for the third case also. And then again this x equal to 2, z equal to 3 is representing the intersection of x equal to 2 and z equal to 3. Since x and z are again also independent, so it is equal to the product of their probability. Similarly here also, because y, x and z are independent, and this also. Now you know that x follows this Poisson lambda. Poisson lambda. Similarly, y is also following Poisson lambda, but your z is following Poisson 2 lambda. So this is the mu. So if you are saying that x equal to 2, x equal to 2, it means it is following the number of 2 arrivals using this Poisson lambda distribution. So Poisson lambda, it means you have to put k equal to 2. So e raised to power minus lambda, e raised to power minus lambda, lambda raised to power 2 upon 2 factorial. For z equal to 3, we have difference. So here e raised to power minus 2 lambda raised to power 3 upon 3 factorial. For y equal to 0, again Poisson lambda, e raised to power minus lambda, lambda raised to power 0 upon 0 factorial. Similarly for all three expressions. So after simplification, you will get this is the result. So if the in particular lambda value is provided, then you use calculator and find the exact result. Now we have like this. So this is another result. Let x nt be a Poisson process with rate lambda. Find its covariance function. So covariance function is Cn T1 T2, that is covariance of n T1 comma n T2. So and you know that we can define in terms of like Rx n T1 T2, you can define minus mu x T1 and mu x T2 like this. So it's a covariance, and so we have to calculate the covariance for any two time instance we are having, and we are having random variable nt1 and nt2. So we have to find the covariance of this. So we use that first we assume that t1 is greater than t2. Because we take any two instance, so we have by default assume that t1 is greater than equal to t2. And then by independent increment property of Poisson process, the two random variables are independent. Why we are saying two independent? Because here we have assumed that this T1 is greater than T2. It means one interval from 0 to 2, that is NT2, and another interval is this. NT2 minus T1 means interval from T1 minus T2. So since this 0 to T1 and T1 minus T2 are a non-overlapping interval, so this variable is independent with this variable. So by definition of covariance, we know that the covariance of NT1 and T2 can be rewritten as, and then what we did, we subtracted NT2 and added NT2 in the first random variable. And then we have written NT2 minus NT2 into this. So here okay, we splitted this and this with NT2 and this NT2 with this NT2. And then what is the covariance between these two? If you remember the result of independent, because this random variable nt1 minus nt2 is independent with nt2, so this is one random variable, this one, and this is another, and they are independent. So if the variable are independent, then their covariance is 0. So this becomes 0, and you have remaining with 0. And if this NT2 and T2 is same, so you know that the covariance of XX is actually variance of X. Okay. Because like covariance of xy, from the definition, it is expectation of xy minus expectation of x into expectation of y. If x and y are same, that is the expectation of x square minus expectation of x whole square. So it is variance of NT2. And what is variance of NT2? Because it's a Poisson process. So for Poisson process, NT2 is a random variable, and NT2 is a random variable having mu actually this, because the length of the interval is T2 and the lambda is the parameter of the Poisson process. So NT2 is follows this distribution. So if NT2 follows Poisson lambda T2 distribution, so its variance is this one. So because for Poisson distribution, whatever, like if we have Poisson mu, then its mean is mu and variance is also mu. So if nt2 is a random variable following this distribution, and this is the parameter lambda t2, then this lambda t2 is actually become its mean and variance also. Similarly, we assume in the other way, like t2 is greater than t1. So if t2 is greater than t1, then we again adjust it like that, and then we have with us only nt1 here. So variance of nt1 is actually lambda t1. And then we can write in combined way like the covariance of this nt1 comma nt2 is actually lambda into minimum of this. So whatever is minimum, either t1 or t2, we would have this. So this is the way we calculate our covariance for Poisson process with parameter lambda. So merging independent Poisson processes. So let N1T, N2T, and NMT be the n independent Poisson process with the rates lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda m. So now you are having independent m independent Poisson process. One is N1T, N2T, and NMT. So you are having m independent Poisson process, and then you have sum of them and generated a new random process NT. So NT is N1T plus N2T plus NMT for all t greater than belongs to 0 to infinity. Then NT is again a Poisson process with parameter lambda 1 plus lambda 2 plus lambda n. So this is the way we define merging of independent Poisson process. So it means if you are having more than one independent process and if you add them, the added process is also Poisson process with their parameters added like this, lambda 1 plus lambda 2 plus lambda n. So we'll see one problem. Let N1 and T and N2T be two independent Poisson processes with parameter lambda 1 is 1 and lambda 2 is 2. So you are having two independent Poisson process. One is N1T, but another one is N2T. N1T is having parameter lambda, and N2T is having rate lambda 2 equals to 2. And now you have created another process NT, and NT is the sum of these two, N1T plus N2T. So first you have to find the probability that N1 equals to 2. So this first we have to find. Second, okay, and N1 equal to 2 and N2 equal to 5. So we have to find this in the A part. In the B part, if it is given that N1 equal to 2, find the probability that N1 you see here, so talking about this, N1, 1 is also 1. So for this, first we find the parameter of the new process NT. So NT is being a sum of independent process is again a Poisson process with parameter lambda, and its value is lambda 1 plus lambda 2. Lambda 1 is 1, lambda 2 is 2, so it is 3. So now I have to find the probability that N1 equal to 2 and N2 equal to 5. That is this probability that N1 equal to 2 comma N2 equal to 5. So 2 arrival in 0 1 and 3 arrival in 1. So why we have split it like this? Because we are calculating the probability of end here. So n1 equals to 2, it means 2 arrival are already occurred in this interval 0 to 1. And now this n2 equal to n2 to 5 means we want 5 arrival in the interval 0 to 2. But 0 to 1 is already 2 arrivals are there. So it means there are 3 arrivals in 1 to 2. So the 2 arrival in 0 to 1 and 3 arrival in 1 to 2, and we are having. So 2 arrival in 0 to 1. So here length of the interval is 1 and the parameter is 3. So 3 into 1 you are getting mu is 3. So e raised to power mu, that is 3. 3 raised to power 2 because this 2 arrivals upon 2 factorial. Here again the length of the interval is 1. Lambda is 3. So lambda into 1 is again 3. So mu is 3 again here. But here number of arrivals is 3. So e raised to power minus 3 into 3 raised to power 3 upon 3 factorial. And after simplification, you will get this. Now, in the second part, we have to calculate this. Given that n11 equals to 2 and find the probability that n11 is 1. This we have to find this. That n11 equal to 1 we have to find, but it is given that n1 equals to 2. So here we use this definition of conditional probability. This is this intersection this divided by probability of this. So this is the definition of conditional probability we used here. And then it's the intersection, but this n11 is 1 and n1 equals to 2. So if n11 is 1 and we know that n1 is actually n11 plus n2 1. So if n11 is already 1, it means n1 equal to 2 means we want n2 equals n21 is 1. And then probability divided by n11 equal to 2. So now you are having 3 random processes. Again, this is independent. It is given in the question that n1t is independent with n2t. So in particular for t equal to 1, they are also independent. So this is the product of their probability. Now n11 is a random variable with parameter lambda 1. So here lambda 1 is 1, but n2 is another random variable with parameter lambda 2 which is having 2. And the length of the interval, because it is 1, so 0 to 1, the length of interval is 1 here. Here also length of interval is 1. And for this Pn, here this lambda is actually 3. Again the length of this length of the interval, because this t is 1 here, so length of the interval is again 1. So this n1 1 is follows Poisson. Lambda is 1, length of the interval is 1, so this. Now this n21, this n21 is following Poisson. Sorry, 2 into this distribution. 2 into 1. And this n1 is following this n1 in the denominator is following Poisson 3 into 1. Poisson 3 into 1. So n1 is following Poisson 1, n21 is following Poisson 2, and n1 is following Poisson 3. So for this we are writing e raised to power minus 1, because e raised to power minus 1 into 1 raised to power 1 divided by 1 factorial will give you this much only. Now we go to this. This is like e raised to power minus 2, then 2 raised to power 1 divided by 1 factorial, because this here parameter mu is 2, but x this k is 1. So 2 raised to power k, mu raised to power k and e raised to power minus mu upon k factorial, but k is 1. So 2 raised to power 1 e raised to power minus 2 by 1 factorial. Now for the denominator, mu is 3, so e raised to power minus 3 and 3 raised to power 2 because here k is 2 because we are expecting 2 arrivals here, so 3 raised to power 2 upon 2 factorial. And after simplification, we have this. So I think I should stop here. Now I take the attendance. ECE roll number 9, Boni Pastor.